know what it is. It don't matter where you at. It just matter where you from. I moved out the hood, but I'm still that same nigga. I still a deal with you. I moved out the hood, but I'm still that same nigga. I still a deal with you, boy. Moved out the hood, but I'm still that same nigga. I'm still that same nigga. I moved out the hood, but I'm still that same nigga. I still a deal with you. I'm from that Lock Ave, right there off of Eddie Road. Where them dog niggas that go get that dog food. Get your head bust if you ain't from round there. These niggas mad, why? Cause they ain't from St. Clair. I gives a fuck, I will put a nigga down bad. Break his jaw, cave his chest in, that sound bad. The same repercussion for you boys who play hard.
I just wanted to come on
get your life took, fucking with them 230.
Pretty much I'm kind of addressing this
on display on that sidewalk. 17
to one in particular individual, as you can basically see within the title. Mr. Sinful P. Now, Mr. P, now I have to be honest and, and say that I really only became acquainted with you through your guy, Freeze. I stumbled across Freeze's videos and I was intrigued by his content and I enjoyed his content. And, ergo, you and him had done a joint broadcast or podcast, however you want to say it. So I subscribed to your page and I think I listened to a couple of road sessions, but, you're another page on YouTube that I subscribe to. Now, I'm also subscribed to Mr. Charleston White's page, and I would be dishonest if I was not to say that I'm a pretty strong supporter of Mr. White. Yeah, I believe in his ideology and I support his works. And the title says, no, I cannot defend Mr. White because Mr. White, number one, a man, a fully capable, functional man with a mouth and a mind, and the ability to defend himself, should be able to defend himself in whatever manner is deemed necessary for him at that moment. So that will lead to that yields to what I meant by I can't defend that man. I shouldn't have to defend that man. The only actions of the only person's responsibility, the only person that I am responsible for is myself. Now, I first, I was going down my timeline and I stumbled across, you had done a review a couple of months ago in reference to his game related, not gang related podcast with Dewberry, Uncle Hen, and himself, and they had sponsored Mobb James to come into town to appear on that podcast, and then also Charleston, along with one of his partners in Dallas, Uncle JoJo. They had a camp, and Mobb James was supposed to appear there as well. Now we that are that follow, and I don't like necessarily because I follow this. People that well, I'm just for the sake of the argument, people that who follow Charleston's page as well as I follow any other page, we know how his stance against gangs and gang culture. We know the type of back and forth that he goes through in regards to dealing with gang members, not in one particular gang, not necessarily the Bloods, not it could also be the Crips as well. So when he came on, so when I saw the review where you had done a reaction video for the Mobb James situation, and uh, I was kind of confused because it was like I just wanted to know that you you when you came on, it kind of seemed as if it was something that I don't want to say personal because you don't necessarily know that, man, but it just seemed it had an air of being personal. And because you know, a lot of people see a lot of men, a lot of masculine men, not even necessarily super beta males might see this as well. Um, an attack upon someone's masculinity, or you when you attempt to feminize someone who is a man who purports himself to be a man, and based on your perception of a particular incident that you may or may not know. I mean, you may have the Mobb James reaction, the Mobb James interview may not have been the first thing that you saw. Um, now, one thing that many of you tend to yield upon is that you say that the man is a snitch. Now, us, well, I was born in the 70s, and so I was an 80s child. I was an 80s baby. So when we use the term snitch, it was in a co-conspirator factor. Uh, it was like, well, if me and you do something together and I get caught, you bring me into the situation to share your punishment, or so to speak. Um, Now, what Charleston is what we immediately knew, because he says it several times. I'm a law-abiding citizen. Now, yeah, I'm gonna call the police. I want grandma to be able to sit on the front porch. And he started he started doing with his anti-gang stance. I guess that started once he left the facility where he was housed after he was convicted of for what he reports the murder of a white man in the commission where they had when got some starter jackets from Mobb or whatever. But Flossie will skip ahead to he joined the Crip gang, while he was in jail, based on the emphasis, the influence of colors, and the same stuff that most of us saw: Banging Little Rock, Arkansas, Colors, Minister Society, Boys in the Hood. I went to college, and when I went to college in '89, it was a gang, and it was Bloods and Crips coming from California, and it was GDs and vice lords coming from Illinois, because Fisk University is in Nashville, Tennessee. But once again, I might be drifting off somewhere else. Now, when you say that he had told Mobb James that he's willing to call the FBI to help rid the community of gangbangers, which we should all be able to agree, based on the evidence, cause a lot of harm in the community to other black people, whether it be robbing and stealing, assault, and on up to murder. And not to mention, when you commit these type of crimes, you either end up dead or in jail, you leave behind children, and far too many more cases. What I didn't understand, it just seemed like when he used to say, well, yeah, how can this is such an effrontery, that this man who claims himself to be a citizen, a law-abiding citizen, he may have had a past where he engaged in criminality, but now he says he's law, but he's telling you who he is. But you just feel so overwhelmed when he says that he will call the FBI to help get gangsters off the street, so grandma and the kids can play outside. And it kind of seemed that also, you're from Chicago. When he said that, the kids could come out and play, and it seemed as if maybe I misheard. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I don't want to misinterpret what you said. That's why this is not a rebuking or a roast or whatever. This is just me trying to figure out what was going on. Why it just seemed as if, the man, any other shit, if your grandmama say, well, them boys out there, they breaking in my friend Gertrude's house. I'm about to call the police. Is Granny a snitch? This, uh, it's something that I'm sure that we agree, because it's like you pretty much said the same thing, and that's something else that confused. You said the same thing in regards to that. I guess you imply that the situation within the violence in the community needs to change. But I guess your argument is much like the gangbangers argument, where don't be mean to us for being in the gang. We want to see good stuff go on too, but the evidence shows that crimes and things are still being committed. It seems as if you played Mr. White's actual conviction, or his mission against his past transgressions as some sort of grift toward Christians, and you said that using this method he will continue growing. Now that you are right, he has continued to grow, and that is correct. But like, once again, I go back to, if you're a follower, I mean, and the man he remarks himself as a walking addiction, and it is what it is. The evidence speaks for itself. People gravitate to the man. The man has a charisma. It's the game. It's the player to player. And it's something. If you're a true player, it's something that you should be accustomed to, and that's something else I was confused about, man. It appears you've done, because I've heard all three of the videos, and it appears that you've done a cursory bit of research about the man. But if you just did a little bit more further research, you would kind of, I believe, I can't speak for you, you would kind of, it just seemed as if, I was always told you never talk down on the player's name. It tarnishes the game. The game is cruel, but it's fair. The game is cruel, but it's fair. But yeah, let me continue, because I had a few other additional items. Because you had like, I had to listen. Well, I didn't have to. I wanted to listen, because I was trying to get a better understanding of what it is, what it was that you, what the issue was. That's what I was trying to understand. Now, I'm just a regular fella. I'm not big pimping. I'm not international. I'm not a gangbanger. I'm more of a person who likes to find out information and share information. I like to teach. I like to be able, in a sense of my relationships with the many women, I like to serve as in a managerial position. Well, not, I shouldn't say a position, as in an advisory position. Not on no cupcake shit or nothing like that, but you want to equip it. You can't save, like the song said, you can't don't save her. She don't want to be saved. the best thing you can do for her in order to help her reach her best and her potential, and also gain your maximum appreciation, is to equip her. But that also leads back to the point of where we were going over. We were talking. We were really discussing your reaction video to Mob James, because that kind of gives a basis to what um to what to where I got confused initially. Because if you look in the comments, in your comment section on that video, I don't know, you may have thousands of comments. I don't know how many comments you got, but you'll see a comment from me in there, and it tells you that these people are know they're on the podcast, they know they're being filmed, blah blah blah. Bear in mind this. I now what you may proceed, because I think it was still kind of like at the point where Charleston was trying to still make it look like it was staged, where like even Mob James was in on it, but it was a situation that also happened with another gang member from the Crips who came into town for a book fair, but he claimed on video that he came down there because Charleston White said that could nobody come to Stop 6 Texas, so he came to Stop 6 Texas to see if anybody could come to Stop 6 Texas. And then you would see videos where such and such checked these guys, checked or whatever, checked them, and then also this guy interviewed Mob James or whatever. It was a guy that was from there. This gentleman named Abdul Chappelle. Now, the evisceration that he gave Abdul Chappelle, if you'd have heard that, I mean, there's a reason why. I guess you heard on your latest show, you said I guess it was some type of contest that he was the best roaster on YouTube. There's a reason why that man Charleston White's name is on that roster. The lashing he gave Abdul Chappelle. I mean, I've been an internet person since the late '90s. And I've also done. I'm not a pimp. I've been a cannabis salesman. I can say this because it's outside of statute of limitations. As you see, I'm just, who is this old nigga talking to me? If even still at this point even watching this video, but we're still on the review, on the reaction video of the Mob James situation. Now, you said he was a grift, like he was great. He used, like Charleston uses the Bible, and he doesn't really use the Bible, like using like using a grift toward the Christians or whatever. But the thing about it is, the man doesn't even ask for donation. He doesn't even have a super chat on his page, man. Like I said before, game recognized game, player to player, hustler hustler. A hustler recognized a hustler hustling. Even in a hustle was not necessarily getting over on nobody. A hustle is just making it work, getting out there and doing what you got to do to get things done. That's another definition. I'm a 70s baby, 80s child, so these terms might be different. So I don't know, but the man, he comes off as a stump down, straight shooting dude. He has a nice character, and that's very entertaining. But I hate to keep you in cliche. The game recognizes the game, and even if it's not a game, the type of game that you might utilize, you got to recognize the effectiveness of the game. You got to respect if it's being effective, But I'm just saying is that you act like actually that sounds kind of mountain, it appears as if we who checked the archive, who've watched his archives, we know how he got to where he is right now. And you're saying that he is putting on some type of image or doing some type of grift with the going against the gangs and this, that, and the third. But that's not what that is. He's always been the person, underneath the character and doing the same deeds that he's been doing up to this point. So that is another reason why, like I didn't, when I saw this video I saw it like 2 months ago, and and it just like I don't go in the man's comments talking about other men, and that's something else that was kind of that's wild. Oh, did you check out? They all in the man comment section. You check out Sin Roast. He ain't got at you, Charles, and blah blah blah. Now that was for this video right here, and that's important to remember because later on, right before you did the second video, the one where, oh my God, man, that was kind of heavy. How you utilize, how could you even fix your? And I know I said the first video with the review of the Mobb James situation, which I still don't understand how, even if someone being as gamed up as you come off to be, if you listen to that, to the way it went, you would understand that I'm just put like this. Mobb James got caught up in the conversation in the Mackie. Now he all during the course of the conversation, you was hearing like the little jabs Mobb James was giving him because like we say, it's a reason why the man is up there as somebody who was one of the best roasters, whatever on the line, because the man go hard on the gangster lifestyle. And there's many of a list of people that he's went at and currently going at that understand that part. And I had heard about whatever rumors about, how you say, which I think you said you termed it, you had been irresponsible with your penis with a teenager or adolescent. I don't, with your situation. And I don't know how that went down, but man, I mean, I'm a 70s baby. And certain things, whatever, we don't, I was taught, you don't even want to get put in a situation where you're even accused of nothing like that. But I don't know the ins and outs of it, but that's a jacket that's been put on you. If I had a certain, other people put the jacket on me, broke ass flag. Man, I can't say I'm balling. I ate today, but that's a bit. This is about. I'm trying to understand. I was really trying to understand at the beginning where was the initial animosity coming from, but the second one, the timing of the second one was interesting because he was actually going toward a guy named Pino, Wigga Pino, and he was thoroughly going to Wigga Pino, but we who catch the lives. Let me take a sip of my beverage, man. Part of my straw. Pause. But we that reside in the comment section, the chat section, and doing the lives, we see who's chat. We know who's regular in there. We know who just pop up. Now it was somebody in that in the Wikipedia one. I don't know if it's one or two of the Wikipedia videos that we was going at Pino, and it was somebody saying that it was a sin, SIN, and and if you were able to go back and review that chat where it was like he was coming at Charles in the chat. And I was like, man, I wrote, I said, sin, don't do it. Because I kind of knew that once he found out about this situation where you was irresponsible with your penis with a teenager, that was man, and then the Canada part, and and you gotta understand, man. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to see none of this happen because you wasn't on his radar. I never had heard him say anything about you at all. And normally he doesn't say anything about none of the people that he goes at initially. They come at him a little bit. They might just, it's like somebody throw a pebble. They might throw a pebble at him and then they gonna hit you back with a boulder. And it's something I've grown to enjoy because it's something that I can relate to. But yeah, it came with the second video, and it was like, the time in the second video was like, okay, Charleston is on this. This was the second. I think it might have been the second after the second Vlad interview, and it was like you. I don't know if it was. I'm trying to figure out if it was the second or the third. It had to be his most recent one. Yeah, it had to be his most recent Vlad interview. And I'm like, why? Yes, one with the picture who took the time to put that man's face on that body, man? I really, and it's like, and a lot of times I listen when you read with some of the guys who was in your chat session when you did the first video, you like to throw like the homosexual type of aspersions toward people. It's like you got to minimize a man to a woman or to a homosexual some sort to kind of make them appear weaker, and instead of like kind of discussing the point, and instead of going at the point, it's this thing that they call this thing ad hominem. When you're having a debate, you don't want to resort to name calling or insults. You want to address the thing that's being discussed at a particular time. You may know the definition of this word already, but yeah, I saw the timing of it, and we know. Well, I've learned, I've learned once again by following Mr. Charles. Mr. Charleston put niggas up on game, and especially with this, I've been on this YouTube, on the Facebook, and all this shit. I'm typing, and I'm sharing my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. But I ain't getting no bread for it. I'm getting headaches with no. I was started making the live videos, and my YouTube channel been up for a while, but nobody ever put me up on game on how to get money on it. And I guess I could have researched it myself, but I'm like figuring, well, monetization on YouTube ain't nothing but a couple of dollars, woo. When Mr. White laid out the receipts on what he was getting, I'm saying to myself, I can get like 5 or 10% of that to buttress with what I'm getting already. That would kind of like change the game up for me. But I don't know, man. I really just don't. You went and it's like you kind of was. You said, well, Vlad had invited you to come do an interview too, and like you're making the user criticisms that he generally explains consistently in his videos, like where he always talk about how he talk down on the dead. The Bible, the dead, let the dead bury the dead. The dead is in a far better place than we are the living. They ain't got to worry about bullshit like basically what I kind of feel like I'm talking about right now. But I really, I just didn't understand the angle, because the man really didn't come at you at all, and you appeared in this session in this comment session, and well, either you or someone who purported themselves to be you appeared in this comment section, and then just it just timed itself out. You got to understand how it just timed itself out. As soon as the virality of Mr. White just was right there. You got on there and it was like you came with that vid with the second video, and you discussing things about what he might be getting and what it ain't, what it ain't, and what you this, that, and the third. I'm like, that ain't the pimping. The pocket watching ain't never the pimping. At least that's not what I thought. We brag and bold, but I can't say we because I ain't never. I'm not stomped down at all. Like I say, I just give advice. Whatever. But I can't defend Charleston White. Matter of fact, I think I pretty much it was more that I wanted to say, but I kind of prefer to let Mr. White say what else needs to be said. I had this queued up. Now it's gone. It's not where it needs to be. Now I got to find it again. But Mr. P, Mr. Sinful the P, it was just I was just confused, brother. I didn't know. I mean, I didn't. Like I said, I never heard the man. Like I said, I came across your page through brother Freeze.
After y'all know,
and
man.
And God, it's good. This is queued up where I need for it to be. I came across your page after coming across Mr. Freeze's page, and I had been watching this content for probably like a month or so, and so I said, well, shoot, he chopping up with his guy, so I'm gonna let me see what's up with some of his content. But my attention span kind of short, because I mean, once you check. Yeah, I check you out. Yeah, a lot of times y'all be shadow banned too, so I guess that's part of it. But I guess since I do pretty much am consistent viewer of Charleston White's page, I imagine that that might have been the reason. But let me go back to the reason why I had titled this video Mr. No, I cannot defend Charleston White because Mr. Charleston White can defend himself. So I'm going to let this may be a couple of moments. Just give it a couple of moments. Maybe like I guess no more than about 10 minutes. But you got to hear it though. Please listen.
And oh man, homie, this town is sick of pedophiles and bald niggas who like little girls. And y'all, that's why y'all hate me so bad, nigga. Because I've been working with children for so long and they ain't never heard nothing on me like this. Just sad, man. Just sad. This is a sad motherfucking day. And this woman got on Facebook. This woman got on Facebook last year, y'all. This woman got on Facebook last year and pleaded for help and cried out to this city and cried out and cried out. And now they done dropped the charges on this sick nigga. He got no bill, y'all. Now let me tell y'all what he done to her. After all this hit the fan, he finally admitted to her mother, yeah, I fucked up, man. I was wrong. She came by the shop and this was that. Her mother also confronted the girl that
Anthony Kojak was fucking. She almost 50. She confronted her. Well, yeah, I saw him at the hotel together, but you knew that when you knew he had been mentoring her, you fucking a nigga. You tripping with the little girl because he fucking her, but you won't say nothing. So then she confronts Stormy about it. About the nigga sucking a little girl pussy. Don't nobody say nothing. So what Mama did, Mama had to fight back. Mama had to fight back. Yeah, she should have said something too. Get your bitch ass out of here. She did say something. She did say something. She did say something. Get your bitch ass out of here, Jonathan Witt. The little girl did say something. But most little girls, when they 15, 16, 17 years old, get molested by a 40-year-old man, then what they gonna say? What they gonna say? What they gonna say? What a baby gonna say, nigga? What the fuck they gonna say? What can they say? How do you tell it? How? When you know it's wrong, but it feel good. Everything about it is wrong, but it feel good to the kid. Fuck wrong with you, stupid grown motherfuckers. So mama, now she 18 and everybody's saying, well, she grown. She ain't yet. Well, at least she 18. She wanted. Man, he been grooming her. He been grooming her. What part of that y'all don't understand? He mentored her. He mentored her. That's the most sickest part of it. So then, mama fought back the only way any mother would fight back. I'm going to hurt his money, his art shows. So wherever he had an art show, the mother would show up and tell the people. Wherever he had an art show, wherever he done. So he tricked the little girl. He called the little girl up, man, macked on her. Man, I miss you. I miss you. And y'all get ready, black women. Hold yourselves, embrace yourselves to your seats because it get deeper than this here. Hold yourself and embrace yourself because this finna get deep. So he tricked her to come over. This is a movie kind. He tricked her to come over. He tricked her to come over. I miss you. I want to see you. When she get there, yeah, your mama been stopping my money. From what's fucking wrong with your mama, she been stopping my money. Little girl kind of smirked. He went to beating her. Picked her up off her feet by her goddamn throat. Boy, he big too. Lifted up off her goddamn feet by her throat, choking her. Then slammed on the ground. Got on top of her, put that heavy weight on top of her and choked her some more and started hitting her, banging her head against the ground, hitting her head against the ground, choking her, hitting her head against the ground. She begging, please just let me go home to my mama. Please just let me go home to my mama, please. Just let me, I never want to go home to my mama, man. Please, just let me go home to my mama, please. She running around the room. He grabbed the big old machete. She's running around the room. He grabbed the big old machete. She just saying, please, just let me go. Then he fucked her. Then he fucked her, y'all. Fucked her one more time. Then he released her. Then he released her, y'all. After he beat her, then fucked her. That's the day he murdered her soul. That was the day, not the day he started grooming her when he was molesting her because he trusted her. He hadn't really never heard her up until that point. But the fear and the terror that she had to go through and that she had to be experienced and tormented with that day. That's when he murdered her soul. Her mother started noticing. Have you been going to see him again? She said, no. But her mother started noticing that all of her artwork started looking just like his drawing. So she had to still been seeing him. She don't see him no more. They pressed charges on him. She went home, took pictures of herself. Even after she was beat, Storm and them knew he had beat her. They knew, man. They still protected this punk. These are the men who y'all been calling men in this village for a long time. These are the men that tell y'all don't pay me no attention, don't listen to them. And all I want to tell y'all is the truth. And how can we heal this pain that so many black men have caused in our families and in our villages, in our communities? And no one have came to this young girl's defense. So now he's been no bill. Those charges have been dropped. And the little girl told her friend and her mama, I remember when I was little, my mama told me if somebody ever hurt me, she would kill them. And he's still walking around. Think about what that little girl said to her mama and her friend. Can you imagine your child telling you that? All this time you've been telling your children all their life, if somebody ever hurt you, if somebody ever raped you, what you would do to them. And when it happened to your child, they get to live and nothing happened to them. Can you imagine what that little girl is going through? Then, I'm not through, y'all. Man, I'm not through. I'm not through, y'all. Whoever was babysitting the little girl when her mama was gone to Africa. Her mama spent, 60 days in Africa. Whoever was babysitting the little girl while she was gone to Africa, whoever, man, they tried to fuck on her. Whoever that man was, and that family. You know how you leave your baby somewhere with your homegirl and her husband, you trust them, they good people, you just would never believe that this person would try to fuck on your daughter, so you trust these people. And we all got people we trust with our kids. We all have people and individuals who we trust with our kids that you couldn't make us believe that they would do something to our kid, but this mother trusted these people, man, to watch my kids. I'm fit to go to Africa to do this here. And while they say while the mama was gone there, somebody tried to fuck the baby at that household. They didn't get to fuck her, they just talked on trying to macking on her. Man, one thing about children, man, when they come to the fan, they go tell it all. Because it's a burden to carry the secrets. To carry secrets for a child is a burden. And for them to get them secrets is like be the world lifted off their shoulder. So the young girl just told the secrets. The secrets of me. And they've been telling us, fellas, whatever you do in the dark, it's gonna come to the light. When I beg that, say, man, when I was listening, I spent 2 hours on the phone listening. And I look at my daughter, man. And man, I done some whole bunch of horrible shit in the world, but I ain't never child molested. And I done took it. But I ain't know no better. To a certain aspect. I pray that the sins of my children's father, of their father, never reaches them. So I stay around, man. So I can stand guard. But her father was there that night. Her mother was there that night. And he took her off to Dallas County to a strip club.
See, that's the type of conviction that we admire. This man, you asked someone in your comment section that someone in the comment they said I guess they must have said Charleston White is the truth, and you said to the I paraphrase, you said Charleston White is the truth. Well, I have two questions. What is your definition of truth, and how is Charleston White truth? The truth, if you are in search of the truth, if you are genuinely in search of the truth, you recognize the truth as it manifests itself in front of you. Especially if you are one who is skilled with the weapon of deception. Now, this third video, I mean, I don't know if it's satire or whatever, man, but really, you know, it kind of, it's like you say that, I guess, Mr. White's supposed to be the hoe, and you, Mr. P, are a pimp, and Vlad TV is another pimp, but you somehow are getting, are you got the pimp, you got Mr. White from Charleston, and Charleston is somehow making you money, but I guess it was satire. But yeah, man, I don't. This is not. This. It was just something I just really didn't understand, man. It's like you. I really had hoped that this didn't. It never would have came to where it is, because it's unnecessary. You know, I figured that it was all, you know, pimp. Like the people, like the guys always, you guys always say, pimping is a non-contact sport, and you know, it's all this bickering and this sassy gossip, and this. I just, yeah, I guess it's part of what you do, man. But that man wasn't bothered. Wouldn't bother you, man. But you made them videos, and you did. It is what it is. However it is at that point, I just really just didn't understand. I mean, I could speak further, but I'm gonna leave it where it is right now, because I've been going on too long, and I do thank those who have taken this time to engage and enjoy it is what it is. I'm just chilling at the in the front night in the jar room, you know, just in the jar room wearing my Najar clothes. Yeah, Mr. P, I don't know, you know, I don't get that many views. I'm not even monetized, you know. So it wasn't. It's not. I'm trying to get clicks. It's not going. This is going to miraculously carry me over the top or anything like that. If you even see it, it would be entertaining for me to find out what you think about it. But you know, let's keep it simple. I've done the best that I could to. Thank you.